All right, hey there, everybody. Christopher Franks with Texas West Capital. It's just a few minutes after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Tuesday, the 9th of November, 2021. I apologize for a delay there. As always, it seems like lately with all these allergies, get a bit of a coughing fit. Try to get it out of me before we get going here so I don't kill y'all with that. Anyway, I'm coming to you live from Bernie, Texas, an overcast Bernie, Texas. The time has changed. Over here, we had that fallback here because we sprang forward in the spring. So hopefully everybody over there in the UK in that area over there are back up on time. I don't know exactly where you're that whole area where the time changes like ours, but hopefully you guys are all in line, in sync again now. Man, I am stumbling. Words are difficult today. Well, it's not that words are difficult. Putting them in some sort of meaningful order seems to be. So hopefully we'll get all through this today. We've got the drawing today for the 6 prizes there. We've also got a drawing for the $100 Bitcoin giveaway. By the way, guys, we didn't have a whole lot of people entering. I think we had like 96 people or something. So, really pretty decent chances of getting that $100 in Bitcoin. So we're going to have more, as this continues on here. I'll put together another giveaway tonight, and then I'll release it. And, you guys make sure you join in there. If you haven't won anything yet with it, make sure you jump in there. Also, we'll do the same thing with the retweet. Except I think I'm going to have a retweet and a follow on that one. And we'll up it from $100 to $250 Bitcoin drawing next week. Next Tuesday. Also, I've got my birthday coming up, guys. If you don't know, it's coming up here in about, what is it? 9 days. And I think we're going to do a pretty big giveaway for that as well. I think maybe we'll give away $1,000 in Bitcoin, maybe. So we'll do that. That'll be a separate giveaway. Guys, I tell you, just giving away stuff left and right here, right? It pays to follow along and take a chance, right? So hopefully y'all are doing all well. Who's here already? Let me see. Brian Allen, what's going on? Good to see you here. Nevlusian checking in. Crypto Mowgli's here. Mark, what's going on, buddy? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Get them dishes done. Brian, man, yeah, I appreciate you jumping in there. Man, I'm excited to have you with us as well, buddy. Hey there, Hank. Good to see you checking in as always. Who else is here? Bill is checking in. He says, and once again, oh yeah, here we go. Yep. Once again, normalcy is returned in regards to the clock times for the UK and Texas. Oh, man. Yeah, it's not like we have to worry about things these days like we did, hundreds of years ago where we had to worry about the sunlight and how much time we had to work, operable time to work. But, here in the U.S., I think if it's Arizona and I think Illinois don't have the daylight savings time there. So my dad's chilling out over in Arizona, so he never had to change his clocks. He likes to jab me with that every once in a while. Hey there, WhiteR21, good to see you. Jared the Great checking in. He says, Mania phase incoming. It sure is looking like it, isn't it? Bitcoin doing a bit of a move, a bit of a rumble. Litecoin flying up. Ethereum continuing to push higher, make new all-time highs. So, yeah, we got a lot going on with there for sure. Let me see here. Hey, Telluride, good to see you, man. ARM's here. TV Canal, what's going on, guys? Data, what's up, man? He says, did you really hit the thumbs up this time? Sorry, the best one I could come up with. See you checking in. Keith, what's going on, man? Checking in from at 1:10 a.m. there in tiny Singapore. I hope things are going well over there for you guys, man. Let me see. Who else is here? Thomas Payne. Reckham, man. That's right. What's going on? Yeah, man. McGuire, we'll see how that all turns out, right? He says, enjoying the Bitcoin ride without ever having FOMO'd in this time around. Always learning from past mistakes. Guys, you know what? In life and in trading, that's what it's all about. You're going to make mistakes. This is what I teach my 10-year-old son. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. It's not okay not to learn from your mistakes. If you consistently make the same mistake over and over and over again, you aren't paying attention. And you're going to make life more difficult for yourself. So always learn from your mistakes, guys. All right? Let's see here. I'll be fine with the words providing I stick with the proper Queen's English. Oh, Bill, I love you, man. Let me see. Who is that? Is that Patrick there? Says, hello from the asylum. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Wazobia here. He says, glad to know you're a fellow Scorpio like me. Happy birthday advance. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Venture, what's up? Boris checking in. Esteban, as always. TV Canal, of course, here too. Good to see you guys. He says, how have I seen the Bitcoin and intraday? That pump on the new all-time highs looks really weak now. CME has a gap. I can't even say a gap near 61,000. Maybe they will go fill the gap. Maybe. But until they make a definitive move down there, we should definitely be looking higher. You know, this is what I tried to explain, guys. You know, talking about we're coming into this fourth quarter, and if it's coming toward the end of the the bull cycle, this is the kind of thing we would get. And people wait for those pullbacks, for those gap fills, and they don't happen very often. So, I mean, it's okay to pay attention to it and to look at it as a possible thing. But I would definitely, unlike up to this point where we would definitely, usually look for a pullback to the gap fill, I wouldn't necessarily make that such a big issue today. Because again, as you get toward this end point where everybody starts just kind of it does this little pullback thing and just continues rising, keeps rallying higher. So, just a little bit of word of warning there. Doesn't mean ignore them, but it means, don't give it as much, significance as you would have prior to, this fourth quarter here right now. Hank says, don't kill him, but he's short Bitcoin since the all-time high. You mean the all-time high we just had, like, last night? Let me see here. Is that Hankowitz? It says, I made the mistakes in 2017, many of them, but unfortunately learned valuable lessons for right now. And that's the way it is, man. That's exactly the way it should be. I keep telling you guys, you're still going to make mistakes. Even if you have somebody coaching you or whatever, some of those mistakes are going to be because you're not going to pay attention to them. You're still going to fight, even if you really want to learn how to trade, it takes a little bit for most people to get their heads wrapped around stepping back and letting their egos go and saying, okay, maybe I don't really understand what's going on, and really listening. It's just part of being human, guys. And if you've got some kind of coach or something helping you along there, they should never take that personally. If they do, you might want to reconsider who you're following there. But you come to expect you're still going to do the things, but the goal is to notice that you're doing it and to stop doing it. That's the goal, right? If you're paying for somebody to kind of mentor you and to be there and whatever, all they can still do is just tell you. They can just tell you what you need to do. They can tell you what's going on, but it's up for you to actually pay attention and then implement the things that they discuss and whatnot. I still think that's one of the largest things that I've seen new traders, over the last 25 years continually have. It's the same thing I went through at first. It's this whole letting go of the ego, man. We think just because we can get into trading that we know what we're talking about. It's like politics. Just because you can vote, you think you know what's going on, right? Religion, just because you can attend a church or a mosque or something, you think you know what's going on, right? But at the end of the day, guys, things are often much more complex. And, again, as human beings, we tend to I guess really kind of just limit how much emphasis we put on the way that we do things wrong. So we don't ever really kind of many times acknowledge that we did something incorrect in a way that enables us to change what we do. And so then we find ourselves repeating the same mistake over and over again. That's if you did. Some people just like, I didn't make a mistake, it was somebody else's fault. Guys, if that's your view on life and whatever, you're not going to get anywhere in the markets. You have to believe in yourself. I always say, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And what that means is your subconscious tends to believe the things that you say. So if that's true, then why not be positive? Why not be supportive of yourself? Why not believe that you can do these things, that you have control, so that way you can go in there and make things happen, not just in the market, guys, but in life or any business ventures you have. As somebody, I'm an entrepreneur, guys. I've been through this before. I've done this. I'm a trader. I do all this. All this requires that I believe that I've got some sort of control. If I were to believe that I didn't have control, that everything's always somebody else's fault, there is absolutely no way I could have achieved the success that I have in life. There's just no way, guys. You have to believe that you can do it. which means you have to take responsibility for the mistakes you made. Mistakes are not a problem, guys. Mistakes, it's like we try to avoid mistakes so much because there's this stigma. Oh, you were wrong. And it's really bad with social media. For those of you who are young and who are growing up with social media, man, I feel for you. It's tough. You've known nothing else. And social media makes it so easy for people to come in there and just dog down on you, right? But you've got to get beyond that. You have to. Again, making a mistake is not a big, huge deal. As long as you learn from it. As long as you learn from it, a mistake is a positive because it allows you to get better. As long as you're not learning from it, as long as you're refusing to acknowledge the mistake, as long as you're refusing to take responsibility for your part in that, you're going to be stuck, guys. Okay? So just some thoughts there. Ali, what's going on? Yes, I'll be here through the bear market. Sure thing, definitely. I'm not going anywhere. It's a tough thing. Bear markets can be tough. A lot of people come in trading and they think, if there's a bear market, I shouldn't be trading. I can't make any money. There's a lot of money to be made in a bear market, guys. But, it's so hard at first because when you first come in, everybody's throwing around words like bull and bear and all this other nonsense. And these are very psychologically tripping words, right? So they trip you up. They get things going, right? They get you feeling a way emotionally. All it is, I want you to try from now on to just think of the market as trends. Don't think of it as bullish. Don't think of it as bearish. Especially don't think of yourself as bullish or bearish. Because I'm telling you right now, that will emotionally get you to act in a way that maybe you shouldn't act at different times in the market. Just think of the market as a trend. And you just trade the trend. If you can do that, if you can truly do that, that takes a lot of the emotional bias out of your trading when it goes on there. And here's the thing, guys. In markets that tend to move to the right and up, so, in charts that tend to go like this, so legacy markets, stocks, crypto, commodities, stuff like that, metals, we have a very strong tendency to think in terms of bull and bear, right? Because the market itself tends to go that way. But if you can work on yourself to just view it as this whole, it's just trends. It's just a series of trends, one way or the other. That takes a lot of the emotional sting out of it. And it really does help you kind of do what you can. It's the same thing as making your charts black and white. Your volume all black. Make your candles black and white. It takes the emotional edge off it, the colors off it. That red and green are very powerful emotional colors. So, yeah. Let me see here. Brian says it would be interesting if 2022 is bearish. I think you're probably a lot more right than wrong with the bearish thing on it. A lot of stuff are coming in. We're starting to see market pundits start to talk about this market craze and how it seems to be nearing a top if it's not there, So, there's a good little bit of a signal to watch there, right? Aramis, good to see you checking in. Let me see here. What do you say? Cripsy Kid, what's up? He says Bitcoin is the only king. I think he says king. Is that a bull? I'm old. My eyes don't work all the time. Anyway, hey, listen, guys. We'd love to have you with us. Join us at howtotradetowin.com. We had a few people, especially today and yesterday, picked up on that legacy deal we were offering, legacy pricing deal. That's gone now. But congratulations to those of you that took up on it. We got a lot of things coming up, over this next year here. One of the things we're going to try and do, what we're planning on doing over the course of the next year, is hiring an analyst or two to work with us. Now, you don't have to be here in San Antonio or anything. Who knows? I might be in Puerto Rico by that time. I'm not too happy with the infrastructure bill, the crypto regs on that. But anyway, you'll be able to work from wherever you are. And I'll have more information on that as we continue going, as we get to that point where we're going to be hiring somebody. But, we would prefer to hire somebody that's been with us, that understands how I view the markets. It just makes it for an easier working environment, guys. If you're in with us and maybe you want to earn some money on the side or, do something a bit more than what you're doing, there's just so many possibilities here with it. definitely keep working on that. Keep working on your skill set, get it better. Take to heed the seriousness of what I say, and you may just be the first 1 or 2 analysts to work with Texas West Capital. So I've got a high level though, guys, because everybody's coming in and they're trusting me. So I need you to be up there. I need you to be working on it. All right. Cripsy Cat says, I think 170,000 per Bitcoin this cycle. It's definitely possible. It's going to have to overextend to get there, but it usually does at the end of the cycle. Things that kind of depend on whether, does the cycle end in December or does it end, in Q2 or maybe even early Q3 of next year. Right now we're just taking it step by step. We're going to assume it ends in December of this year because that's what it usually does. But again, we'll be watching as it comes up to that. And if we're looking to further, hey, I would be excited if it continues on into next year. But I don't want to think, sit here and go, okay, yeah, it's definitely going to run into summer of next year. And then it ends in December. And because that gives you an emotional side to it, right? It makes you think, oh, it's got to keep going up. And you're not selling when you should. So definitely good to pay attention as it moves up there for sure. Let me see here. Is that Diego checking in? What's going on, Diego? Good to see you checking in as always, man. Hey, Bianca, good to see you there as well. Says only in for a short while, though. Hi there, what's going on, man? Maddie is here as well. Mike Slane says, Fed even saying the asset prices are high. Hey, I just saw that as well right before we logged on here. I saw them mentioning a little something about that. So, warning that the asset prices have risen to such a degree that any small negative change in the economic, in what's going on in the economy has the likelihood to crash the market, basically is what they said. So, people paying attention now, all right? Hey there, Silvio. Good to see you. Let me see here. Do I think a settlement between the XRP and SEC will be anytime soon? I don't know that it'll be, soon. I think there's going to be one. I've been talking about that since day one, guys. With as many people are involved with XRP, that hold it and whatever. If the SEC were just to come out and say, XRP, you're screwed kind of thing, well, a lot of people are going to get very, very hurt. So the SEC doesn't want to do that. Especially when you're looking at this whole kind of digital thing moving into these old 1930s and 1940s SEC laws, securities laws. So, it's always been the idea that they'll probably just get some kind of slap on the hand, some kind of, agreement, some kind of fine or something they'll have to pay. I've never really thought, again, that if you've been following me, that XRP was going to die off necessarily. As a matter of fact, when everybody was getting rid of it and the exchanges were delisting it, I said what's likely to happen, if you guys remember, is that there's going to be that low there, and anybody that's buying at low is probably going to turn out really good. And here we are, back up over $1 again, right? So, again, just the reality of it. Try not to get so emotionally into what everybody online is doing, guys. They're going to be haters of this and that. You don't want to listen to that. If I listened to the Yahoos back with XRP back in 2017 when I came in, I would never have bought it at around 0.5 cents and then sold it up there near 280. I think it was average around 276, 280 when it ran up to about 3.25. So I would never have done that if I had just been listening to all the idiots out there. Just trade, guys. Just trade. Stay away. It makes it so much difficult when your head is stuck with what everybody else is saying. Try not to do that, okay? All right, let me check here, guys. What's going on with Bitcoin? So, here we go. There we go, guys. Oh, by the way, hey, this is what I put in the newsletter. I just got an update from the newsletter. They said, for some reason, none of the issues were delivered to your subscribers. So after all this today, I've got to get a hold of review and find out what the heck went on there. So if you didn't get your issue delivered to your inbox, guys, for this week's what's it called there, newsletter, you can get it right here. I'm going to go ahead and put this right in there at that link right there, www.getrealmoney, review, revue.co/profile/TWC. And that'll get you into the most recent one, which was delivered there. Well, it was supposed to have been delivered on this one right here was supposed to be delivered on Tuesday, and it didn't go out to anybody, which was just absolutely stupid. By the way, great quote here at the beginning from Jesse Livermore. No person can play the market all the time and win. There are times when you should be completely out of the market for emotional as well as economic reasons. Okay, guys? So again, I know coming in, you think you have to win. It's just about making more than you lose. And you can do that even if you're losing more trades than you're winning with proper risk management. That's why I talk about it so often. Okay, guys? So make sure that you guys understand that, so that way you can be as successful as possible as a trader, which means oftentimes just getting out a lot of the nonsense that people talk about and say. Remember, most of what you're seeing online, guys, these are these sound bites. And most of it's incorrect, or most of it's a half-truth, or most of it is, it doesn't have its context. It doesn't have correct, you don't have the context for what's being said. And that can really just screw with you pretty good there, guys, okay? Hey there, Kyle, Mike, what's going on, guys? You said you got it? That's crazy, man. I got a thing, like I said, I got an email from Reviews. They give you this thing the day after it goes out that says, this is how many was delivered. And it says, for some reason, 0 deliveries. So I don't even know how many went in. We only had like 60 open it. So maybe, I don't know. I've got to get a hold of Review and figure out what's going on there. But I'm glad you guys got it. Looks like some of y'all got it. So that's good. So anyway here. Yeah, so right now we've got this bear flag here. Or I'm sorry, bull flag here. We popped out of that. That target's basically this, based on the height of this bull flag here, it's right there around 71,100 or so. So, going up there. I think right now locally, this is what we're doing right now. So last night, with our update with the Discord, I let them know that we had this, what I believe was wave parentheses 3 up here. And wave 4 should pull back toward this demand structure right here. And so it has now. It could still pull back a little bit further here. But we're going to see if we can get a rally up on out there. And if we can, that gives us a wave 3 right here at the 1-hour R3 pivot, right around 70,000. So that's where I'm looking for this to go next here. Yeah. So, that's kind of what we're looking at here. As long as we're above this 1 hour, this 4-hour pivot right here, our sights should be higher. If we drop down below that, then it says, okay, maybe there's some sort of shorter term top at least in. But right now, nothing happened that we weren't expecting. So we'll see if we can get the rally up on out of here and take it back up there with that. Let me see here. By the way, with this right here, I've got this count here. So I've got this 1-2 off that. I've got this wave 1 off the 28.8 swing low there back during the summer. So I've got that there. There's the wave 2, okay, and this was here in September. And then I've got a 1-2. So if this 1-2 is correct here, then basically we're looking for a wave circle 3 target up here at around 102,000. So we'll see if that continues to pull up here and rally up through. We did have this warning here that this top was kind of coming in at this moment here with this bearish divergence and overbought here. Of course, 4 hours actually dropping pretty good right now. Dropping a little bit better than it was earlier. So Stochastic RSI pulling back here a bit. Daily still got room, guys. Look at this daily. So, you've got this great kind of base right here, right on this previous resistance area, right? Now you've got this base building here, and then you've got this nice rally up out through there. Right now we've got bearish divergence. RSI just needs to close above, pull this down here, 78.20 to invalidate that bearish divergence. We've got a lot of room to go still here on the Stochastic RSI on the daily. Importantly for me, as a previous pivots trader, we moved in sideways between the pivot and the R1. And then we're rallying up toward the R1 right now. Again, that R1 pivot on the daily is right around 71,000. So I think that 70 to 71,000 is a great target area. And then we would expect a pullback. And on that pullback, I would expect price to remain above the pivot here. Remain above that pivot. So, you work on getting that wave 1 up, you get the wave 2. Matter of fact, pulling back, my initial thought from where we're sitting here is this right here, this resistance support area right here around 63,000. That would be a good target area when we get the pullback. All that previous resistance there, pull back toward that as support, and then kind of continue up from there. Okay? So that's what I'm looking for. Let me see here. Hey there, Devin. Good to see you. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're looking at here. Let's see. What does that 3-day look like? 3-day's got a lot of room up here, just kind of bouncing around up there at the top. Nice couple of candles here. So you have a nice large candle there, overlapping doji kind of pullback there. Nice large candle here. So good movement on that. Weekly, we have broken out above the R3 and above the that resistance there. Create new resistance, breaking up about that as well. We're just about to break into overbought here on RSI. Stochc RSI is up and overbought, but again, it can stay so for extended period of time, and during that extended period of time, it can make a large move up, right? So this one right here went, topped out and overbought about this area right here in November 2nd, 20, and ran up all the way to there, and then pulled back and reset that almost completely, and then still went up as it was resetting down here, still continued to go up. So this was all sideways here. Again, if you're just looking at this structurally, hit the resistance right here, broke out above it, pulled back to the support right there, and trying to rally up off it now. So definitely not hating the way it looks there. Monthly, of course, looks good as well. Marginally higher volume over the monthlies here. Greater candle spread over there. So that's what the kind of thing you want to see. You're getting more bang for your buck, basically. Lesser effort, but more result relationally. And that's what you want to see as price, if you're long and price is rallying, that's what you want to see. So yeah, overall, not hating the chart at all. Liking what I'm seeing. So we'll see if we can continue with that move in there. Let's see here. TV Canal says the gap is nearly on the pivot at the daily. Could this be the B wave of a flat correction? Ali wants to know. Are you talking about right here maybe? So like maybe A, B, and then C down? Structurally, I mean, just with where it's at, yeah, we've got an ABC down, okay. We would have to have an ABC up right here if that was to be the case. So I guess the way this would have to work is maybe this would be the A here, and then we'd have ABC, ABC, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is like a running flat correction here, and then 1, 2, but we still have to get 5 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, still have to get a 5, 3, 4, 5 to get up there. I mean, the thing that gets you is maybe this is a flat here, is all this overlap right here. This isn't clearly impulsive on this move up. So, again, possibly. But I would expect it to probably... If I was to look at this, if this was to be a flat, let me see here. What do we have here? This is A. This is B over here. I mean, yeah, see, this R3, H4 pivot area maybe where I've got this wave circle 3 would be where I would generally expect for it to reach if it was to be a B, and then it just come on back down. But here's my issue with that. Again, as a pivot, as a former pivots trader, let me see here. So, okay, here's the thing. If you trade pivots, there's a sequence of events that happens that usually says that price action is very bullish, and what that entails is a move in between the pivot and the R1 pivot. But instead of testing the pivot and going up or hitting the R1, pulling back and then going up, it just rallies right on through the R1, comes back, retests the R1, pushes up through the R2. This sequence here is usually, most often, states this is very bullish right here. And when this happens, most often, price rallies up through the R5. Now, again, there are no guarantees in trading. I can't say that happens every time. But if you go back and check these things out historically, what you'll notice is when you have this kind of movement here, without the check of the R1, the pullback, the pivot, and then breakout, or the pullback to the pivot and then the breakout, it just kind of continues on through it. That's usually a sign of very, very strong bullishness. And so if this was to be A and a B, what you'd be expecting is a wave C that drops below this point over here, below this 57,653. So the second part of this is that we have gone up above the R2 pivot, and most often when you are above the R2 pivot, price does not drop below the pivot. Again, this isn't every time this happens, but most of the time it will not drop back below the pivot. It'll just continue up, right? Again, looking at the daily here, the daily, maybe it could there on the day. I'm just, man, I don't know. When I'm looking, it just looks very bullish at this point right here. And so my default in this sort of situation is to expect that price will remain above the pivot. Now, sure, that could come down there and drop below this and just get a little bit lower low there. Maybe. And then kind of head up. But, again, zooming back into those, that 4 hour and everything, this thing right here is usually exceptionally bullish and usually indicates that price will continue up through the R5. So while you may sit there and say, okay, yeah, maybe it's going to do that, I would need it to show me that it's going to do that. Until that point, again, while we remain above, I guess the best way to do is like I've told Discord right now, while price remains above this 1 hour and 4 hour pivot right here, right around the same place, as long as price remains above that, our sight should be set on higher. If we're dropping below that pivot, then okay, then we start looking at maybe this is an A and a B and we've got a C coming in as a flat correction. But even with that, guys, I mean, it's still just a temporary pullback before higher up. If this is all correct here, 1, 2, 1, 2, I mean, 3 of 3 kind of thing. We should see some strong rallying heading up there. Third waves of third waves of third waves kind of idea. So, yeah. Man, it's crazy that y'all got it, and they told me that nobody got it. I was really ticked off about it. I'll have to go check on that. I appreciate you guys letting me know, okay? Let me see here. Ali's saying just a bit low confidence because the money flow index dropping. Yeah. Again, when I look at this, I've got certain things that I've learned over the years, 25 years of doing this, 26 years, something like that. Just things that really stick out. And so one of those things is this kind of movement right here. But again, this doesn't guarantee that it has to go up. It just usually does. So my default right now is higher highs while we remain above this pivot. If we start pulling, even if we start pulling back from where we are up here at the swing high, down here toward this pivot, I'll start getting, here, just dropping below wave 1 here is what I'll say. Was this wave 1 is 64,300. If we're dropping below that, I'm going to start looking at the possibility that maybe this is a flat and playing out. Price with this movement here, if it does like it normally does, should not come back on wave circle 1 here at all. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. Let me see here. Kyle's asking, on the CME chart, does it make the count clearer? Is it just the weekend shop that makes it confusing? Probably. Probably. Let me look here. Hey, Brian, actually, let me see here. You're asking about Bollinger Bands? I actually have in Discord there, you have access now to a training that I did on Bollinger Bands. So after all this, sometime today here, I'll get back with you in Discord and I'll direct you to it. I've actually got a whole hour's worth of training on that. So, plus our regular educational stuff that's on the site. There's a Bollinger Band area in there as well. So, let me see here. CME. Let me see. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one here. Sorry, I got to make a new chart here. That didn't work. Make a copy. Let's try this. There we go. Let's take a look at that CME and see what you guys are getting all excitable about here. Let's see. I think it's that right there. Well, there we go. All right. So does this make it much clearer? Let me see here. Nah, not really. I mean, it's just the same thing, I guess. Yeah, this is the gap y'all are talking about right here. This weekend gap. First thing to know about gaps, guys. Weekend gaps are just part of doing business. They're just regular things that happen. They're not really special, all that special. So often you won't get a pullback to fill that weekend gap. Usually price will just continue on because it's just, it's just the weekend. It's what happens in a 24-hour market, especially if it's a 24-hour market. And, things happen while the CME here is closed. So you'll get a weekend gap, and that's just more of a common gap. It's not like a breakaway gap or anything like that. So I'm not overly excited about this gap here. I'm not saying it can't come back to it, but I'm not overly excited about that gap, really, to be honest with you there. So, yeah. Let me see here. Gotta pull this back over here. Yeah, so I mean, again, this is pretty much same count going on. If we look at that, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, working up there. 1, 2 there. Just instead of having this swing low come down a little bit lower here, I think this one comes down a little bit lower. 68.60, 69.45. Yeah, so on our normal chart here, we've got this swing here that drops down below. This one doesn't quite come down as far. And so over here, this one is the lower of it. So, yeah, I mean, not really a big deal either way. These counts tend to come together at some point if they're off a little bit. But, right here, you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same idea of what I've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, yeah, overall, pull back and rally back up. You would look for support right here. You've got this cluster right here with this candle going the opposite direction and then rallying back up out of it. So you'd usually expect there to be a at least temporary support, if not a reversal from here. At least a bounce, if not a reversal from that area. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, but yeah, as far as gaps go, guys, if it is a weekend gap, I mean, I know there's a lot of everybody talking out there about gaps and gaps and gaps. I've actually gone over this a few times with training with our members. But, weekend gaps are pretty common, as opposed to the other types of gaps. Again, breakaway gaps, runaway gaps, things like that. And because they are pretty common like that, they're, many times they're not filled because it's not that anything special happened other than just price moved in a 24-hour market that this exchange, that this particular market was closed in, right? That's all it is. Whereas if you have things like runaway gaps and breakaway gaps and things like that, these are things that have to do with the price action and volume, what's going on with the market at that time. This is just hey, we weren't here at this time, that's why there's a gap. I hope, it's hard to explain sometimes to somebody who's brand new, but I hope that makes sense. It's just a common little old gap there. Sitting there just twiddling his thumbs, feeling bad for himself. He's not as special as other gaps. So yeah. Hey, some risk. What's up, man? Probably already missed the important info. All info is important. Let me see here. TV Canal saying he doesn't like the you don't like the weak pump at the all-time high. Looks like only shorts got squeezed. But that's what usually happens toward the end. Again, it's a wave 3. So it's you're pulling back for a wave 4 here. So yeah, it's a local top. I mean, is what it is. Often what should happen is when you get to the end of a wave, again, wave 3s should be your largest waves, volume-wise, right? So you get here, you go wave 1, boom, their volume. Wave 3, big volume. Wave 5, lesser volume. That's the way it should be as you go through it. Because your wave 5 is where you have less participation most of the time. Everybody, your wave 2, on that wave 2 pullback, everybody's like, oh yeah, see, that wave 1 was it was a fake, it was a dead cat bounce, blah, blah, blah. Wave 2, they're like, oh yeah, look, we're going to continue lower. And then price turns around and continues back up above wave 1. They go, oh my gosh, I got to get in. I was wrong. It's going higher. And so everybody and their uncle jumps in on the third wave. That's why you usually have the larger, the larger movement, the greater volume and whatnot. By the time you're pulling back for wave 4, getting into wave 5, this is taking profit in this wave 4 area. Most people are taking profit. However, few people play this, comparatively play that 5th wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, people miss. 3, they're all in. They take profits. 5, just a few kind of hanging out there. So your volume should go down in a wave 5. Yeah. So, anyway. So there we go with that. What else are we looking at here? The dollar. What's going on here? Let me see if I can find a good chart here. Let me just go with this one. So, again, finding resistance here. We've talked about it. We're waiting. We're trying to get above this area, right? We want to get above that 94,742 area. And so, it's grinding higher, but, it's having a little trouble there. But if it can break out through that, I think, again, we've got that run up toward 97. I think, you just got to get through this area right here. So right now we're trying. We're pulling back now as we hit that pivot there, trying to pull up higher. We'll see if we can get it. Locally, we've got a, most recently here, we've got this 1, 2, and then a 1, 2 locally here, I think, potentially. And so we might have an ending diagonal here. And so what we're looking at is some further rallying up. We're looking for an impulsive rally above the 1 hour and 4 hour pivot right here. That's what we're really looking for. If we get an impulsive rally up through that, that should indicate that wave parentheses 2 is done, and we're headed up wave parentheses 3, which is going to get you a target up here around 96.16 kind of area. If this continues breaking down, again, we'll just kind of look at it there. It's only pulled back about 50%. So it definitely has scope to move lower here. You've got the 61.8 there at around 93.788. You got the 70.5 at 93.672 and the 78 there at 93.564. Heck, you could even get 90 down here at the S2 pivot. But let me zoom in here to the 15-minute, and we'll see what we have here. Let's see here. I mean, if I'm looking at this... looks like maybe we've got a couple of maybe flat corrections in here. This would have to be a 1, 2 here. And then this right here looks like a flat correction here. 1, A, B, C is 2. So again, just looking for that impulsive breakout above, in this case, the 15-minute pivot. That should get it going. If we're breaking down below, we've got the 61.8, the 70.5, the 78.6 to kind of look at. So, no huge big deal at the moment. still has good room there to go to potentially, finish up a wave 2 here. If it drops below the swing low over this wave circle 2 swing low at 93.278, then that changes things a bit. However, even in that case, I think, maybe we could have an ABC here, then an ABC here, and then maybe 5 down as a flat correction for this wave circle 2. So definitely nothing going on here that says, oh my gosh, the dollar's definitely made a top and it's headed down below the January, swing low there. It could, as we continue to talk about it, especially since it hasn't made it above 94.742 yet. But there's absolutely nothing going on in this local area here that says that has to happen at the moment. Even, like I said, even if it was to drop below wave circle 2 here. In that case, what we'd be looking for is 5 waves down here and then a rally back up. That's what we'd be looking for. And then, like I said, in that case, you just have an A, a B, and then a C to finish off a flat correction for wave 2 there, circle 2. So we'll see what happens with all this. Market's trying to kind of gain their senses, gain their directional biases and whatnot. A lot of information came out last week. As I talked about, again, the Fed said taper is going to begin this month. They said they gave $15 billion reductions for the next 2 months. Those are the targets on those reductions. Between the treasuries and the MBS, mortgage-backed securities. And then, of course, we had the strong numbers there on Friday for the jobs numbers, the revising upward of the previous month, and then this last month, how it's done. And so that just gives, again, more fuel for the Fed to say we're definitely tapering. Had those come out really awful, just completely the other way, the Fed might have, then paused after the second, taper, but it didn't. And so, again, a lot going on there toward monetary tightening, giving reason to tighten that monetary policy. In general, when monetary policy is tightening, you're going to expect the country's currency to gain some value because the idea is that, well, if they're removing, if they're not buying so much, they're toning that down. It's because the economy's overheating, right? It's getting too hot, and so they don't need to continue to buy. But if the economy's then getting too hot, then the reaction by the central bank is to raise interest rates because that discourages investment, that discourages borrowing, which means, again, remember, the real money is created at the bank level and those loans and whatnot. And so if they want to stop money from entering into the broader money supply, they would just make it more expensive to take out loans and whatnot. Less people are going to take out loans, less dollars come out. Then you have, not a continuing increase of dollars coming out, chasing the same goods there, causing prices to rise. In that scenario, again, a lot of what's going on with the prices right now, guys, have to do, a lot of it, I would say probably most of it has to do with the supply and delivery bottlenecks that we have right now. Now, those are exasperated a bit by, the stimulus payments and the extra jobless benefits that they had for a while there. The moratorium on paying rent or mortgages, the moratorium on student loans, all that kind of stuff. That all contributed to basically a little bit more cash in hand, depending on where they're coming from. Because again, if you're looking at unemployment benefits, if you're somebody who became unemployed because of the pandemic, then the unemployment benefits basically take you up to where you are maybe. Not for most people, it doesn't take them better than where they were. But it takes them at least around where they were. So it's not like all that extra cash is, giving all this increased kind of money to go jumping after things, right? As opposed to where it was. But when you have, about the same kind of level there of where you were, and you have this this supply constraint, then yeah, prices go up. But again, that's why the Fed's saying transitory. That's why they're still using that word transitory. Now, they've admitted it's gone on a bit more than they thought it would. It happens. As I've often said, the Fed is reactionary. Everybody's like, oh, the Fed will do this, this, and that. Well, yeah, but it's always reactionary, which means it's always behind, which means things happen first before they get into it. Which then begs the question, do they really do anything that changes anything? And at the end of the day, I think they can kind of massage it a bit, but really it's up to the market, guys. It's up to, we talk about socioeconomic theory a lot. It's up to how people feel in general. If people are feeling good about things, the market goes up. If people start to feel kind of down about things, guess what? The market goes down. It's not that the market goes up and then people feel good. The market goes down and then people feel bad. It's the other way around. So a lot of stuff going in there, a lot of things happening, transitional period right now. By the way, Jay Powell is up for potential renomination in February. But, is he going to do it? I don't know. Biden is just kind of dragging this damn thing out. And it's at a time when with everything that's going on with the economy, you don't want to mess with what's going on with the central bank. You want that continuity in there. You want things to continue progressing, as they do it. When you bring in somebody new, everything can change, and the economy is already where it is with issues happening and whatnot. It's not the situation that you generally want, going on with your money, and the monetary policy and whatnot. So if Biden was smart, or his handlers, whoever's telling him to do whatever he's doing, if they're smart, they would keep Jay Powell in there. But, and usually that's what happens. By the way, usually that's what happens. Usually the presidents keep in the incumbent Fed chair, so that way it doesn't look like they're kind of biased, and putting in their own guy. Now, Trump kind of was, Trump went in there and said, "Oh, screw this," and he put somebody in there that he wanted, Powell, right? And I don't know, do Biden and them now take this as well, I guess we can go ahead and do that now. I just really think that there's going to be a lot more issues with the economy if you bring in somebody new right now with things where they are. As opposed to somebody's in there right now already doing this, got things going, has a plan. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with all that. New paradigm shift. You guys are out on there, right? Paradigm disruption. Also known as a paradigmny. What? Let me see here. Let me kind of catch up with you guys here. So let's see here. So somebody's asking here. Let me see. Where's that question here? What? Let me see here. Evening Star Doji reversal on the SPX daily. How big is that drop going to be? Could be pretty big. So we can look right. I've got the E-minis on here right now. So this is we'll look at this real quicker because this is what I had. So this is kind of your big daily picture of what's going on with the E-minis. Okay. So you've got this this resistance right here, right? This red resistance, and you've got this purple resistance. Now with the purple resistance, we had this breakout and pull back in. As we've talked about so many times before, that's called a throwover, right? Now, what we expect here is a nice strong drop. If this is a true throwover, which just basically means an overextension at the end of that bullish movement, then we should expect a nice strong drop back down. So we're going to have to see how today turns out. Yesterday was kind of sideways. Today could end up down. It's already trying to, but right now, it's trying to push up a little bit. So we'll see how that goes right there. As far as the E-minis go, the S&P here, I'm looking for a breakdown below, an impulsive breakdown. Expansion of volume, larger candle spreads, down through 45, 43, 75. And if we can get that, that's going to be my first warning that maybe some sort of top is in here. If we can continue that down through the pivot, down here below 42.60, that adds confidence to that idea and may actually indicate that the macro top is in. Now, there's other ways to look at this. Some people subscribe to the idea that if you get a throwover, all you're really looking for is 5 waves down, and that's going to, kind of confirm that throwover was just that, a throwover, and you're reversing now. I like to give it a little bit of room myself. I don't like to just the first 5 waves, right? Because you can have an A and then a B up and then a C, 5 more waves down. So I don't know. For me, I look for that a little bit further down there. Now, the SPX itself, let me see here. Let's see if we can look at that actual chart. Whoops. That didn't work. Let's try it one more time. All right, what's today? The 9th of October. Can you guys believe that already? Jeez, oh whiz. Almost a month and a half to Christmas, guys. It's crazy times. Things just seem to be flying by, don't they? Let me see here. We can just grab it. Let me see here. Whoops. Yeah, we'll just grab it from... let's just grab it from right there. Yeah, see, this top here looks a little bit more interesting than this top right here. This is kind of just really kind of sideways, a lot of stuff going on, right? This one, you've got this this gap up here into this doji to the upside, and now you've got this strong, currently, supply candle kind of printing here. If I'm seeing this right here, I'm thinking the odds are to the downside. And again, you know, similar to what we're looking at there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? From a pivot standpoint, again, moving in sideways between the pivot and the R1, rejected the R1, look to test this pivot area. If you're dropping down through there, then things really start getting interesting. It can still reverse at the S1 and continue higher, but if you drop below that pivot, this daily pivot here, right around 40, it's about 4,500, things could get really interesting. I would really be watching then. And then you're looking for a breakdown, of course, below this wave 4 right here at 42.7894 coming through. So that's how you play that there. But, yeah. SPX definitely looking interesting. Again, we've got resistance. What do we got here? Same kind of idea with the resistance here. It just kind of rallied right up to it. R1 pivot there, coming down. Local resistance here. Again, same idea it looks like. Throw over, yeah. See, looks like we've probably got a throw over again right here. So we just want to see this one heading on down to kind of really set that in there. As you can see in the daily, you know, we've been oversold or overbought here for a few weeks now. Overbought well there on the RSI. Let's see here. We've got a bit of bearish divergence here on the weekly between these two highs. And of course, then we've got the Stochastic RSI pulling up in here, but it's starting to curl a bit and overbought there. So yeah, I definitely would watch that, see how that plays out. What's today? Today's just Tuesday, right? This weekly candle, if this weekly candle can close below last week's open, which is 46.10 and 62 cents, that's going to give you a bearish engulfing. And then you just need, the following week, you need another bearish candle there to kind of confirm that reversal. That bearish engulfing is just considered a pause until you get confirmation. So again, looking for that coming down through that. Let me see here. Daniel, what's going on, man? He's just kind of new to this channel. I like it a lot. Hey, man, I'm glad to hear that. You know, some people don't. A lot of people don't. They don't, you know, they want somebody to kind of butter their muffin, right? I'm going to keep throwing these things at you guys till y'all laugh really ridiculously over there, and I can hear it here. But really, you know, most people when they come in, especially, you know, amateur traders, you know, they just want somebody to tell them what they want to hear. And, you know, I don't often do that here at all. And if I do tell you what you want to hear, it's just because it's what should be said. It's not because you just want to hear it. But, you know, people come in and they tell you what you want to hear because they know if they do, you'll pay them money, and they can do that. I would rather give you the truth, you know, and if you decide that the truth is important to you and you want to spend money, you will. You know, with us, you will. But either way, I'm not going to sit out here and sell my soul to just give you some nonsense. So glad you're enjoying it a bit there, man. Let's see here. What else we got here? Oh, Leighton, what's up, man? He says, I'm thinking of giving myself a present and joining you in Tier 3. What is the deal at the moment? Oh, man, you just missed the deal, man. We just had a legacy deal. If you purchased a 6-month biannual Tier 3, you would get legacy pricing for life, which is substantial discount from the current pricing. I'm I'm sure we'll have some kind of other deal going this week for tier 3. Maybe, I don't know, maybe on the quarterly or something. Maybe a deal on the biannual. It won't be the legacy pricing, though. You know, we had that for the last week, so that was a once-in-a-lifetime offer right there. But, man, you should. We'd love to have you there, man. Let me see here. What are my opinions? Was this Jello Man? What's up? What are your opinions of Monero XMR, if you're familiar? Monero what? BTC or USDT? You have to let me know which one. Let me see. Hey, what's going on, Alan? Good to see you. You were running late, but you got caught up. Man, thought I was going to be running late as well. Let me see here. Can I check out .USDT? I can take a look at it. What do we got here? Yeah, so this is what I've got at the moment here. I'm looking at possibly this wave parentheses 2 as a flat here. And then maybe this is a 1 with a 2. If this is a 2, I would expect it to reverse somewhere here around the pivot and then head on up. I've got a wave parentheses 3 minimum target at 59.44, secondary target at 61.56 right now. Overall, DOT's been doing real good. You know, we update this every day for, I think right here, for our Tier 3 members. And so it's been following up pretty well, pretty close to what we've been looking at. So I think we've got higher, you know, again, coming in, we're coming in sideways between the pivot and the R1 here on the 4-hour. We've reset down into oversold here. We've got a bit of hidden bullish divergence printing right here, which would be a continuation of the bullish trend. So looking for a reversal back on out of that. I would think this is probably a flat correction here as well. 1, A, B, C is a 2. Locally, if this is to reverse off here, it looks like it's printing tweezer bottoms there on the 4-hour. So if we can rally off that low, you're looking for a closer target. God, I can't even get this in here. Let's see. See, look at that. That wave 5 right there, 59.34 aligns almost perfectly with 59.44 wave 3 there. So, yeah, I think that's what we got. Only thing that changes anything is if it drops below the swing low over here at 49.01 or 49. I'm sorry, 49. $49. If it drops below that, that invalidates this count here. We just have to figure out what's going on here. But as long as it rallies up off here, you need tweezer bottoms here. It looks like we're getting them again there. Another hour and 47 minutes left in this current 4-hour candle. So we'll see how it plays out. But, you know, if that's a 1-2 as a flat, which it looks like, that gives us 5 waves up to wave 3 here, which is what we would expect. So, yeah. Let me see here. Monero USDT. Let's see here. Oh, I don't have anything there. I guess I'll try and make something here real quick. We'll take a look real quick, see what XMR is. Let's see. And this is all just sideways right here. So let's see here. Selling climax, automatic rally, stop. You've got ST here, secondary test down here, rally back up. Higher highs, higher lows, bullish market structure. Back down again, finding support at the previous resistance there, trying to rally back up here. I mean, to me, it looks like let me see. Yeah, we got a lot of demand starting to show up here. I think this looks like a reaccumulation potentially going on here, so looking for it to head higher there. Let me zoom out here a minute, or zoom in a minute. Where's the lows here? These are lows over here, aren't they? So locally here, looks like we got a 1-2 off here. Right here. It looks like maybe a leading diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and then 5 down here, C. That would give you an initial target up here of about 305. And then wave 5 target up here around 318.20, which just gets you right above the 4-hour R3 pivot there. So I think locally that's kind of where we're at. So should have some bit of movement up there. Again, if this is reaccumulation as it appears on this quick look right here, looks like we should be heading further up from that. If this is a 1-2, see here. Oh, doggone it, how's that work? Hey, Leighton, join our server, man. Let's see right here. Join our server, man, right? Nope, wrong one. Try it one more time here. There we go. Join that server link there, and send me a DM there, and I'll let you know what kind of special we got going on. All right, man? We'll do it that way. Sorry, trying to do a couple of things here, and thinking not really helping me any. As I'm trying to do this anyway. I mean, if we look at this, if this is a 1-2, we've got a almost a 50% pullback. So that's pretty solid. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So 1-2, and if that's correct, then that would give us longer term a minimum wave 3 target. Up here at $929.70, right around $1,000 or $900 or so. Now that will probably change by the time price gets up there, especially if this thing just goes bonkers like everything else normally does when we get toward the end of the bull run. But that's a minimum, 1, 2, 3 up there on that. Oh, there's a lot of room left on the weekly there as well. Yeah. That pull back into that weekly pivot, how far did that get? Yeah, almost halfway. That's what we expect. Right here into this demand here. So yeah, I mean, just sideways here, accumulation should, I think right there going on should lead it to go higher there. Let me see here. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at there. Let me see. Common Man, what's up, buddy? He said, I crawled up the chain with 8 legs before floating down on an iron condor and landing on a butterfly spread. Called the market and told them to put up with my antics and bad puns. Whole bunch of options lingo you got going on in there. Let me see here. Let me see. What are you talking about there, Brian? Let me see here. If you're only looking at the USD pair instead of Bitcoin pair with ADA and LTC, you probably missed the move. Yeah, you know, so in a previous issue of the market breakdown, for the trade setups there, let me see, which one was the last one before this week? I put one in there for Litecoin against Bitcoin. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. A couple of issues ago, I guess. That's what I should say. And so I put that in there. Put this chart in there. And I mentioned that this is probably a sleeper, one that people are going to miss. If they do that there. And so far, look at that pump so far. Right there. So it was there, you know, right around here, around 0.0031. It's gone up over 30% already in about a week. Nice large pump coming out of that. And again, look for a breakout descending resistance. Should give us a target of this descending wedge resistance. Breakout of that, an impulsive breakout about that gives us this pattern target up here at around, I got to read what this says here. 0.01376620 above the point of breakout. And then that should lead us to a breakout of the range here, which then gives us a range target, pattern target of 0.01875. which is actually right around 0.041 kind of area. So, yeah, I mean, this thing has been in, it looks like it's been in accumulation here, guys, since back here around March of 17, guys. This structure looks like accumulation here, and if so, it's going to be a heck of a potential run on that. If this continues breaking out here, I can see it potentially running all the way up here to 0.0975. Get you at the EQ of this supply structure up here, potentially. So quite a bit of possible movement for it to head up there. You can see that you've been printing bullish divergence after bullish divergence here from back around May or June of last year. So again, this looks like one large reaccumulation range right here. So we're just looking for those steps along the way on those breakouts and those targets, breakouts and targets. Keep running it up there. So yeah. How often do I look at the total market cap for crypto? Rarely at all. I don't really have a whole lot of reason to look at it. What's going on, Joe the Butcher? Good to see you checking in, man. Better late than never, as you said. You know, again, I mean, I guess you could maybe glean something off it, but not enough to me that it bears watching constantly. I don't think. So yeah. Yeah, fundamentals don't matter. That's right. Money moves as it does, right? All right, hey, listen, guys. Let me set this up here real quick. I have got the list of... oh, actually, first thing I want to do, we can bring over the winners of the... oh, what's it called there? The giveaway, guys. The giveaway we did over the last week. We had the 6 winners. So you can actually see who it is right here. I saw this now. You can actually see at that link right there, after we run it, after we hit the button to choose, and it does, it comes out there. And so what we have here, if this, I will be sending what do you call it? Emails, guys. Emails. That's what it is. These are the email addresses of the winners. So now we're not giving anybody away, right? And so I'll be sending out an email sometime today to these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 winners. If this is you right here, if this is you, or up here starts with MAT or starts with VIN, and you get an email from me today, make sure you're looking in your spam folder and everything. You've won a PS5 with the 2 games there, as it says. If you're a U.S. citizen, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you win a 6-month Tier 3 membership with us. If you're a U.S. citizen and you won the PS5, but you'd rather have the 6-month membership, I'm willing to do that, trade you out there. If you are this person right here, ANDX at whatever, or beginning EMA at whatever, I'll send you an email today. You've won a 1 year, I can't even think about it, 1 year Tier 3 membership. And if you are this person right here or this person right here, again, at the bottom here, starts with CRA. Again, I'll be sending those emails out today. And I'll let you know that you won. And you've won a 6-month membership with us, a Tier 3 membership. And so what you'll need to do, guys, is you will need to contact me. Get back with me to claim your prize in 7 days. So by 10 a.m., next week, when this one ended at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm going to give you a date and a time here. That is Tuesday, November 23rd. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Tuesday, November 16th at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You have until then to respond to my email and claim your prize. And then we're all good there, right? So congratulations, guys, okay? There you go. So there's that. That'll get you there. And again, like I said, I'll start another giveaway sometime today, and I'll post it. And you guys can just do the same thing, you know. Just go and follow those links, get extra entries, as it says there. If you're already like if you're already following me, it says, you know, follow me on Facebook or whatever to get that thing. All you got to do is go through the process of clicking the link, and it'll recognize that you are following me on Facebook. And it's not like you have to unfollow me and then follow me again. But it'll just check to see if you're following me at those things, or if you've liked whatever it says to like, or whatever it's done, subscribed, or whatever it says to do. So, like I said, if you've entered this the contest already, you haven't won, you'd like to enter again for the next one, there you go, right? I think I might give out some Bitcoin this week with that. I'm trying to give away a lot of Bitcoin, aren't I? So definitely jump in that there, guys, all right? Let me see here. Let me catch up to the other one now. We might as well go ahead and do that while I've got you guys here. Oh, let me find where it is. Oh, I got to get my list here, guys. Let's see here. Okay, I got my list. We'll do the website here. All right, guys. So it is. I'm using this software right here at that link, just so you got it. Let me go grab all these people. Like I said, we only had like 96 people share, so you guys have got a good chance of winning this $100 in Bitcoin. We'll enter them all in there. And so, you know, again, everybody there that retweeted the tweet that I told you to retweet, you're on there. And so we're going to do this. And what I'll do is after today's live stream here in about a half hour or so, I'll go ahead and send a DM if I can. If your DMs are open, I'll send one there on Twitter and let you know you've won. And then you can just give me your wallet address, and I'll get that sent to you today. I'll also mention you on my feed there. I'll tweet it out, and that way, in case you don't have you know, your DMs turned on, or in case you aren't paying attention, you'll see it there. Okay, you guys ready? We'll shuffle names here a few more times. Look at this. All right. So now we just need one winner. That's all we need. You guys ready? Yes, we're ready. All right. All right, let's go on there. We had 93. I'm sorry, 93. Pumpin' Jack Flash, man. Pumpin' Jack Flash. You won $100 in Bitcoin. So you know, again, actually, I think they're actually with us in Discord. I think it's the same one that's with us in Discord. So, but I'll do the whole thing on Twitter so they can get noticed there. Like I said, guys, pay attention this week when I put up the new drawing. I'll put up a new tweet for you guys to share. You'll have to share. You'll have to follow me on Twitter. This time, instead of just sharing, make sure you're following me as well. But that's all. You don't have to like tell anybody else about it. You know, tag anybody if you don't want to. And then it'll be for a $250 Bitcoin drawing. By the way, as I said, guys, if you win the Bitcoin drawing, you can still win the other prizes. If you win the Bitcoin drawing one week, you can still win it the next week as well. So, you know, the Bitcoin's the one that you can keep winning. Man, if you were that lucky, that'd be something, right? But you guys see me, I'm doing it here, up here for y'all, so you shouldn't have anything to worry about as far as that goes, right? So there you go, guys. Lots of good stuff going on here. And like I said, be paying attention, guys. Follow me on all our, you know, on one of our media, our social media outlets, or on our Discord server there, because I will be doing like a $1,000 Bitcoin giveaway sometime around my birthday in just over a week, I think, for that. So, yeah. All right. So, and then we'll figure out how to give away a few thousand more Bitcoin. Sound good? Everybody? Yes? All right. So there we go. Let me see here. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? I think there was something here. Oh, man. Hey, just for fun, guys. Are you all following this whole Kleinman thing? The Craig Wright trial? If y'all aren't, man, y'all should be following that. I think those of us with a law degree are really finding this quite entertaining. But interesting story here. I'll go ahead and post the link in here. And Maddie, yes, I'm sending an email to the winners of the prizes. Yes. Not the Bitcoin then, because that was only a retweet, so I don't have emails. So I'm going to DM the winner there. But yeah, for the other prizes, the 6 other winners, yes, I'll be sending out emails. Let me see here. But anyway, yeah, so great fun stuff, guys. I'm not normally one for what do you call them? Novellas? Hey, I'm down here in South Texas, man. We all talk about those novellas, right? But anyway, this has been something interesting, man. They are painting a heck of a picture of him. Not too flattering at all. But remember, guys, just because somebody's a jerk doesn't necessarily mean they're guilty or, you know, whatever. That said, you guys know how I feel about Craig Wright, so... But it's a great little thing here to kind of keep up with, guys, and find out what's going on in the trial. Lots of interesting stuff going on there. So, really, yeah. Never a boring day in crypto, right, guys? Even when y'all think you're bored, you're not really bored, are you? Thank Brandon. Yeah, the telenovelas, yes. Anyway, so let's go on over here. What else can we look at here? Oil. Let's take a look at oil real quick, guys. So oil doing its thing here. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Breakout above. I've got this as a WXYXZ kind of thing going on here. So we've got through the first step is this initial X. So we broke up above the 1 hour pivot here, pulled back, retested as support. Rallied above. We really want to see a breakout above this wave X up here at 84.88. That should add confidence to the count. And that gives us a, let's see here. If we do this, that'll give us an initial target at 87.17. Secondary target of wave 5 up here at about 90.14. Man, almost making up $100, guys, from the negative 42 it was in May of 2020 last year. So a lot of movement, a lot of money made on oil coming out of that. A lot of riches, right? Yeah, man, McGuire coming in for Tech. I know it's going to be good stuff, I think. Tech's one of those programs, man. We produce some amazing players, sometimes. But just the program itself is so tough. I mean, you just have to think back to things like Crabtree, Mahomes. I was fortunate enough to be attending law school there when Mahomes was playing. So we got to see him live. It was a lot of fun. But the program itself just, it just suffers. It's up in the middle of nowhere. It's Lubbock. Everybody wants to be in Austin or, over in College Station near Houston kind of area over there or whatever. Lubbock is Lubbock, man. It's middle of nowhere. Rarely does anybody want to be up there. But, we do get good players up there. Baseball team's usually kicking some rear end. Basketball usually does pretty good. Football has trouble, but, man, we produce some really good players. So, yeah. Good stuff there. Yeah, if you guys haven't been paying attention, what's his name? Elon Musk. Have you guys heard what that guy has done? I got to choose my words carefully here, right? So Musk said, hey, guess what, guys? Because there was that whole thing. They were throwing around this whole idea of mark-to-market approach for billionaires. And that wasn't for everybody. It was for billionaires, guys. You had to make really ridiculous amount of wealth over the last year to be included in that. But the idea was that you were going to have to pay capital gains on unrealized profits, right? Which then if you had unrealized losses, you could subtract that out, whatever. It's just really a bunch of nonsense. But anyway, and so old Fluffy here, Elon Musk, I don't know why I called him Fluffy. Anyway, he came out with a poll and he said, hey, you guys tell me what to do. Now, we all know he's the richest man in the world right now. He's almost worth $300 million, right? And so he said, hey, whatever you choose on here, I'm going to abide by. I will abide by the results of this poll, whichever way it goes. So I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock. Do you support this? Clearly, almost 60% saying sell it. So it should be interesting, right? So he's supposedly supposed to sell that. That's what, 21, 25 billion, something like that. We'll see, right? What does that do to TSLA, though? Let me see here. Let's see what's happened with TSLA. I can't even say it. Because of that, because that was done over this weekend, right? So everybody voted over this weekend. As would be expected. Large sell-off, right? So, let me see here. 8th was yesterday, right? So we're coming in right around this point right here. And so since yesterday, that's a loss of almost 14.5% off the value there for Tesla. So good times, right? Well, I know it's just a stunt. Actually, he's got options next year to buy Tesla for some ridiculous Tesla stock for some ridiculously low price. I mean, just absolutely crazy low price. So he's not going to be hurting for this, guys. But it's always interesting, to have and see if he's going to fall through, see what kind of, response you get from the market. And of course, this is what we kind of expected, right? If he's selling, 10% of his holdings, you expect a large sell-off there. I promise you he's not hurting, and he's going to be, unless we get a huge, downward move in the markets, he's going to be all right. Even if he does have that, it's still going to be worth quite a bit. But yeah, you can see here on the weekly, you can see this. You had this gap up the week before, and then this week, really ugly candle heading down. That monthly candle last month was looking real good there, and of course, the pullback on that. 3 days high, weekly's high. Whoops. Monthly is high up here. Bearish divergence right here. We've kind of curled up back here. But, again, guys, the reality is, price was likely topping out anyway. Again, you can see it here with the bearish divergence and everything going on. So I don't want to say that it was him that caused it to do what it did. But look at that. A couple of dojis up here end of last week. Then boom, gap down, push back up, and then just this big, huge move down. Which area here to this week. So yeah. It is what it is, right? If I was to look at this, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So, I mean, if this is correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we're probably getting to a rally, which would make sense off the pivot here. 3 up, and then at least 5 more down, A, B, C. Or it could be a 1, 2, 3 heading down of A. So, yeah. But I think this will just be a bounce here. Let me kind of zoom in a bit before I say that. Let's see. Where's that swing high? 1239.75, 1241, 1240, 1238. Okay, so it looks like we've got a 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 3, 4, and a 5. Looks like we should get a rally off this. Let's see where we're gonna get with this rally. I went the wrong way with that. So if the bottom's in, as it looks like it may be here off this drop anyway, off this initial drop. Rally back up. You got the 50% here at 1128. You got a 61.8 up here at about 1154. Rallying all the way up to the pivot would give you a 78.6 at that high volume node right there around 1192. So lots of options on the move up there. I think this would likely head up at least to this S1 pivot. So may turn out to be a good time to get you some buy calls, some calls in there to buy some calls. And then just sell them out as people expect it maybe to continue rallying up. Just trying to see. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's 5 down to me. So it should at least go there. If, and if it's only 3 down, it's heading up higher. It's going to go up higher anyway. But I think we should at least get up here toward this S1 pivot area. 61.8, probably right here around 1154. I would not be surprised at all to see it reaching this high volume node up here, 1186. It gets it right close to that 78.6. But there is that gap there. So, yeah, I think it's probably a pretty good time or probably to buy it or so. You want to get some movement heading up, though. As you can see, RSI is pretty low here, around 1525. Stochc RSI bottomed out here and oversold. So you get some kind of relief bounce at least. So yeah. Let me see here. Venture says, I like how Michael Burry pointed out that Elon may have a reason to sell given the tax-free cash he took out in the form of personal loans backed by 88.3 million of his shares at June 30th. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he says, I don't get paid this or that. Yeah, no, you don't, but you can borrow against them shares. Yeah. And then, like I said, he's got all these options that are just stupid cheap, guys. Ridiculous amount of money he'll make if he exercises those options, which he'd be an idiot not to. So, I mean, let's not think that he's doing this just because whatever, It is a publicity stunt. Sure it is. If you don't know already, Elon just, does that kind of thing. So, it is what it is. Yeah. Let me see here. It's interesting when Bitcoin doesn't dump, when the stocks dump, like the US 500, also Tesla. I don't know that it's really interesting. Everything has its own timetable in which it does. Again, these things aren't going to happen at the same time exactly all the time. What you need is the market participants to decide that they're going to sell. And let's face it, Bitcoin's pretty pumpy right now. It's quite desired and talked about quite a bit. So, there's going to be more holding on to it than stocks, maybe initially anyway. But, when the market, when the economy does its thing, if it does its thing and heads on down, I mean, they're going to eventually get out. If you like Bitcoin at, let's say it goes up to 100,000, if you like it there, there's no reason, and the economy turns down, there's no reason not to sell and then just buy it back in lower. You can like it even more the next time it gets to 100, right? But everybody wears this badge of honor, diamond hands. Again, we've talked about that before. Really what that means is you didn't know the top was coming in, and now, you were forced to hold it. You didn't sell it. Okay, fine, so you didn't sell it, so what? You still missed your opportunity to bag a ridiculous amount of money and then use it to buy back lower. So don't buy into this whole hype of diamond hands nonsense, guys. I haven't heard it a whole lot lately, thankfully. Really glad. But, take profits, guys, along the way. It's silly not to take profits. As price gives you the opportunity to do so. You don't have to take them all. You can take partial profits. But the last thing you want to do is get some great run-up where you're rich on paper and then you don't go sell. So now you're poor on paper for the next couple of years, at least. Maybe you'll become rich on paper again. The hope is that, Bitcoin will continue higher, but I can't guarantee you that it will. Nobody can guarantee you that it will. A lot of people talk as if they could, but, we can hope. That's what we can do. Hope that it does. Don't ever get it mixed, guys. And if that hurts your feelings that I say that, you need to check, what's going on with you. You need to check yourself for why that hurts your feelings, why you're getting upset by me saying that. I'm not saying I hate Bitcoin or that I hope it does terribly. No, I hope it does great. I want it to keep going up. It makes me richer, all right? But I'm also not going to sit here and, as I say, blow that smoke up your rear end. Makes no sense. Why would I do that? Doesn't benefit you in any way. And no matter what I say here, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You're not necessarily going to listen. So I win nothing by doing that. So I'm going to give you the truth. And then we'll see what happens with it. And like I said, hopefully, it continues to do the outlier thing. The bigger move up. Hopefully, at the next the next bear market, it gives us an opportunity to buy a lot lower and make a lot more money again on the way up. But there's absolutely nothing out here that can guarantee you it will, guys. Again, you have to understand Bitcoin has never been in a recession, much less a depression. And that right now is the big thing that everybody wants to ignore. But it's the one thing you should be paying attention to. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll continue going up afterward. But I can't guarantee you it will. So why not take your profits when you have profits and then just buy in lower? That's the goal, guys. Okay? Let me see here. Theta radiation melts diamond hands. Your slogan. So anyway, let me see here. So that's that. Where are we at with the Nasdaq here? Let's take a look at that real quick, and then we'll jump on over here to TLT. Look at those bonds there. All right, so we are doing potentially A, B, C down, potentially. We've got a 1. Let me see here. Which one's higher here? 16.035.21, 16.038. Okay, so we've got this. Gosh, let me zoom in here a little bit more. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, this is 38. So 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we got a little bit lower to go here. We might actually come on down here toward, yeah, that is 5 pivot. Yeah, about 15,780 kind of area. We might get down that low. Watch the S4 pivot just in case it's doing like some kind of ending diagonal here. But potentially S5 pivot. But that would give us just 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So potentially an A, B, and a C. So if what we have here, so if we drop down here or here, and we get up like, like right about here, and then it rallies back down here, well, now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So minimum A, B, C still to go. So overall would be lower. The only thing that saves that is, again, I do believe we've got this lower heading down here, and we would need to see a rally up above 16,038 and 23. This is the NASDAQ composite, by the way. But a rally above that level would give us an ABC down, and then breakout above would lock that in as corrective. But as long as it comes down, rallies back up, and then drops down again, then that gives us 5 down, in which case, at minimum, it's an A. And then we'll have 3 up for a B, 5 more down for a C. But it could mean, hey, this is the top, and this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1 maybe, or of A. So see, a lot, in other words, more downside. So yeah. Let me see here. We won't tell your wife there, Mark. Oh man. Let me see here. Let me see here. And repeat said segment. Wait, let me see here. Blaze, I'm just trying to read what I'm trying to catch up with you here. It says by the dip time. When did you say he'll have that opportunity to buy super low again? Oh, I guess you're talking to somebody else, right? Sorry, I thought you were talking to me there, right? Scott talked about buying Coinbase stock. Let's see here. I've got, what is it? Coin, right? Dang it. So last update was earlier this month. Last time I looked at it. Looks like we didn't get the wave 2 pullback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I think we might have here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think maybe what we're up to here now. Now, if I'm looking at this, actually, I might just pull back to the pivot there. It's a 4-hour. We'll see here. But yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at this coming off the bottom here, I've got it as a 1, 2. You know what, though? That might just give us a 3 there. Yeah, so instead of that, let's go ahead and change this. It's going to give us a 3. So I think we've got wave 3 done there. Let's see here. So wave 4 should then pull back, toward the pivot, toward the 4-hour pivot. I think it's going to pull right around there, yeah. And then I'll bet you we'll have a wave 5 right around this EQ here at about 404. Yeah, just about in the area. 395 to 405 would be the wave 5 target area here. So, I mean, that's what I would look at. But as you can see, that gives you 5 up, possibly from the bottom here. Which means then you have a pullback after that for a larger wave 2. Which should see it coming down maybe right here around 300. Let me see what I've got this. Let me see if I got this set on Fibs-based log scale. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so they may come on back here to this previous kind of resistance area here around that 38.2 at 296. So again, coming down, up, that should give us wave 1 and pull back there. The other possibility, still ABC maybe, right? ABC here. So if this is 5 down here, this would be A, B, and a C, just a long C. So you're going to want to watch that. Like I said, right here, it looks like we'd have a 1, 2, 3, or 5 here. And so if this is an A, a B, that could be the top there. So if you're dropping impulsively below this 4-hour pivot, that would clue me in that maybe that might be an ABC here rather than a 1, 2, 3. But you know, Coinbase should continue going up as long as Bitcoin's going up, generally speaking. But you've got this bearish divergence up here. Look at that. Look at that outside bar. Huge outside bar today for Coinbase. They've got earnings. Oh, that's today. Earnings. Watch those earnings. See how they come out. But yeah, I mean, if this is an A and this is a B and this is C, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So that could be it. Heading back down there. So yeah. So I would definitely watch that. Right now, I'm assuming we got a 3, working on a 4 here, going to have a 5 still. But again, watch those earnings, see what happens with that. What you're trying to see is if you get an impulsive breakdown below that 4-hour pivot, right up there at around 335. So impulsive means expanding candle spreads, so large candle spreads, expanding volume as it's dropping on through, because that's a sign that they're selling into that into the lows. And so when you have a lot of supply selling into the lows, they're determined to sell and push it down lower. If you have volume decreasing as you're getting lower, that means they're pulling back on that selling. Not that supply is not in as much. But if you got that supply still coming in at the lows and there's follow through with it, then that's a warning sign that supply is in control and demand's not really showing up enough to deal with it. But yeah, that's what I would watch with that. I mean, like I said, generally you should think, these Marathon and Coin and all these other Bitcoin related products. If Bitcoin's price is going up, generally they should rise as well. So that's what we'll kind of watch that, right? So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. ARK also holds a lot of coin last time we checked. Yeah, I haven't checked them lately. ARK's definitely active management, that's for sure. Let me see here. Anyway, okay, guys. Well, I guess that'll probably do it. It's about 1 o'clock, so I'm going to get out of here. I'll be sending those emails sometime this afternoon to the 6 winners. So remember, you've got 7 days. You got until next Tuesday, whatever I said that was, the 16th? Yes, at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You've got that 7 days to get back to me and claim your prize. As far as the winner of the Bitcoin, I will try to DM you. I'll mention it there on Twitter and get you there. For everybody else, and even the winner again, remember, we're going to have this $250 Bitcoin giveaway with the next retweet. So be looking later today when I get the new contest going, and then I'll put the link up there, the tweet that you need to retweet, and I'll let you know. And get to retweeting it, guys, okay? I hope you guys have a great day. You trade safe. Remember, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose. That's it, guys, okay? So, no matter what we talk about here, no matter what, these are all just if things do what we expect them to do, then this is going to happen. But because we can't guarantee it, risk management is so important. Most important thing you'll ever do as a trader, and you should be doing it all day, every day as a trader, okay? All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic week. I'll be back on Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to kind of see what happened to the market between now and then. The markets. So there you go, guys. Y'all take care, all right? We'll see you later. End of the week.